Alright guys, third video for the day. Trump is considering enforceable quarantine for New York, New Jersey and parts of Connecticut. Oh boy, Tim, you really should have left, man. But anyway, I don't even know how they could I don't even know how that could be legally enforceable, New York Governor Cuomo said, adding, "I don't even like the sound of it." I don't like the sound of it either myself, but I understand why he's doing it. New York is literally getting out of control. So, yeah, I understand why, but I don't like it. President Donald Trump said that he was considering an enforceable quarantine. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, he said he's considering it, not he's actually doing it, so that's a lot of different. In the New York, New Jersey and New Connecticut area due to the outbreak, saying that the decision could come as soon as later in the day. Some people would like to see New York quarantine because it's a hot spot. New York, New Jersey, maybe one or two other places, certain parts of the Connecticut quarantined. Trump said as he left the White House en route to Norfolk, Virginia to see off the USNS Comfort, a Navy hospital ship that is heading to New York to provide extra hospitals space and help fight the outbreak. I'm thinking about that right now. We might have to do it, but there's a possibility that sometime today. I'm thinking about that right now. We might not have to do it, but there's a possibility that sometime today we'll do it. The quarantine, short term, 2 weeks on New York, probably New Jersey, certain parts of Connecticut. Trump continued. Trump's comments left local officials puzzled over what an enforceable quarantine would include. As many states have already impeded restrictions, and it appeared that the president had not discussed the idea with governors of the impacted states before floating this idea. Now, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said that although he talked to Trump Saturday morning, just moments before Trump's announcement, the possibility of the federal mandated quarantine was not addressed. I didn't speak to him about any quarantine, Cuomo said. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what he could legally enforceable, Cuomo continued, adding, I don't even like the sound of it. Governors and mayors, not the federal government, have the broadest quarantine and isolation authority, and the Constitution leaves that kind of police power in the hands of the states. Although the Center for Disease and Control and Prevention has the authority to detain people suspected of having an infectious disease without getting approval from states and local officials, the authority is rarely used, and experts on the public health law say that attempt to leverage that power to create a federally mandated quarantine would be challenged in court. While the USNS Comfort, Trump said any restrictions would not impact the truck drivers entering or traveling through the quarantined area, and that would not impact trade. So it looks like he just wants to block people coming in and out, except for trade. Trump suggests the purpose of the federally mandated quarantine will be to limit people from the New York and spreading the virus other parts of the country, but some states already have put into place restrictions on state visitors from places that are considered hotspots. In New York alone, Cuomo said there are more than 52,000 confirmed cases of the bug, with over 725 deaths. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is requiring people visiting from parts of Louisiana, New York, or New Jersey and Connecticut to self-isolate for 14 days. Rhode Island Governor Gina Roman also ordered that anyone who has moved from New York State to Rhode Island in the past 2 weeks must self-quarantine for 14 days. Massachusetts, I can't pronounce things today, I swear. Massachusetts and Texas have instituted restrictions, and some countries in North Carolina are considered putting up roadblocks to keep out visitors unless they provide they have home or job inside the country. Restriction travel, blah, 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 blah. Right now, obviously Trump says he's considering a short-term quarantine of parts of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Rhode Island police troops stopping incoming New Yorkers from to face quarantine. I know this is unusual, this is extreme, and I know some people don't agree with it, Rhode Island governor says. Rhode Island National Guard and state police are stopping motorists at the New York license plates and going door to door to find people who may have recently travelled from the state. So that's getting a little bit scary. But obviously, look, at the end of the day, Italy is not doing very well either. Italy over in Europe with over 900 deaths in one night alone. And then obviously at the end of the day, we also have a little bit of news coming out from China, with them delivering over 5,000 urns to a funeral home in epicenter Wuhan. Rises fears China is underlying national officials 3,300 death tolls. Underplaying, sorry. So here's a question I do have to ask. If your official death toll for China is 3,300, but you're delivering 5,000 urns to one place alone, how is that possible? Well, it's only possible when you live in a communist state that wants to try and control the narrative. Deliveries of thousands of urns of Wuhan have raised doubts over China's official death toll. Photos have circulated on social media of families collecting ashes from those who have died from the virus. Meanwhile, local media has reported funeral homes have been receiving thousands of urns. One funeral home even received 2 shipments of 5,000 urns in just 2 days. So I don't know, I'm not sure if they're talking about 5,000 urns in total or 10,000 and 2 lots of 5. I think it's the first. I think it's 5,000 in total, according to Chinese news outlets, the New York Post. Now, it's not known how many of those urns were filled with ashes. True. China has so far reported 3,300 related deaths, with the majority taking place in Wuhan. Funeral workers have refused to comment on the numbers, saying they did not know how many urns have been collected, because obviously it's a communist country and you start speaking out, you start dying. It continues as Italy and the US have overtaken China, reportedly, at the hotbed of the virus, although, like I said, China stopped counting a while ago. America is now recording more new cases any day. Sure. Italy has recorded the second most with cases with 86,498. 9,134 of them fatal. And China is in third with 81,340. I seriously doubt that number. I really, really do. Okay? I really don't think there's... I think there's more than 81,000 in China. At the rate of spread in America, 16,000 new cases yesterday alone suggests that the peak of the outbreak is still weeks away. Sure. Earlier this month, China officials say they were on average, they were verge of victory against the deadly virus. Yeah, it's also Chinese propaganda too, from a communist country. Wuhan has even partly reopened after its lockdown, but many are skeptical of the official lines coming from China because they're a communist country. Not a smoking gun, but the government's cooking the books. Yeah, definitely think so. Yeah. Anyway, a lot of people seem to be disbelieving China in the comments, which I do actually. Yeah, I definitely think. I think at the end of the day, China has a vested interest in making it out that they've handled this situation better than anyone, and I definitely think so. But let's keep going. Beer bug killing more New York City. Killing people in New York City at a rate of every 1 in 17 minutes. For the past 2 days, New Yorkers have been dying at the rate of 1 every 17 minutes, according to the latest grim citywide stats. On both Thursday and Friday, another 84 people died in the city from the beer bug as a result of positive cases in that are critically acclaimed. So, New York is not doing very well. You can see why Trump wants to go through and sort of put it in isolation and lockdown. Hillary Clinton under fire for jokes about US leading in virus cases. Trump did promise America first. So, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was blasted on social media Friday for her swipe against President Trump amid the growing beer bug outbreak. So, since the availability of testing kits has broadened in recent days, which is actually a good point too, I didn't have thought of, the numbers of confirmed cases in the US has skyrocketed. On Thursday, the US has reportedly outpaced both China and Italy. Clinton took to the latest developments as an opportunity to knock her former 2016 rival on Twitter. He did promise America first, Clinton wrote. Her tweet was slammed by critics across Twitter. Delete your account. This isn't the time. This can't be the new norm where American tragedy is applauded for the sake of political optimism. Representative Dan Trishaw, who's obviously Republican for Texas, wrote. This sort of veracity celebrationary tone about Americans getting sick and dying during a deadly global pandemic is just appalling. Washington Examiner reporter Jeremy Dunley reacted. Hillary Clinton touting figures that are a result of Chinese disinformation to dunk on American and sick Americans is just a pretty good reminder why she lost 2016. That was from National Republican Senate Committee Advisor Whitlock. This is beyond the pale. Human events managed, edited. Ian Miles Chung tweeted. Clinton's spokesman Nick Merritt told Fox News, the situation we find ourselves in was pretty demonstrably avoidable, and pointed that out with the reference to the president's empty rhetoric is nothing more than another way of pleading for him to lead. Okay, sounds like a bit like Trump derangement syndrome there. Clinton wasn't the only one to jab at the president over the mounting cases. The correspondent Julia Luft offered a similar reaction. Who's the asshole country now? The tweet referring to 2018 controversy around Trump allegedly said that White House meeting, but when Trump said it, it was racist. But when I say it, it's fine. People in the comments, need more proof she doesn't care about American people. It's a good tone, actually. Good point. New York police detective has becomes department's first uninformed officer. Officer to die from beer bug. So a New York police detective has died from beer bug, and the first uniformed officer to succumb to the illness. So Detective Kedrick Dixon, 48, was at the 32 precinct and died early Saturday after being admitted to North Central Bronx Hospital 3 days ago with flu-like symptoms. The Blodgett investigator was a 23-year-old veteran of the force, which is quite sad. He was just doing his job, which is quite devastating. So yeah, that actually apparently happened. But look, at the end of the day, guys, look, obviously, situation with beer bug, obviously, look, I'd say Trump's doing a good job. I'm sure you could probably make an argument there are things he needs to do that are better. There's things that he's doing that people aren't giving him credit for, like, for example, sending off that ship, the Royal Navy hospital ship. That is obviously a good thing. So look, at the end of the day, he could be doing worse, he could be doing better. I really don't think the media is giving him a fair run when it comes to this, but then at the end of the day, we're not entirely surprised. Guys, look, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. To be honest, I'm sick of beer bug. I really, really am. I want to cover other stuff, but I don't know. There's so much misinformation out there. I feel like it's a bit like my job to correct it and to let you guys know just what's actually going on out there. So it's kind of a catch-22 situation. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. I might put up a poll later today. Let me know what your thoughts are in that poll section below. Apart from that, guys, obviously this video has been helpful. Please smack that like button if you're new to the channel. Welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I am going to go and play some Subnautica. So come and follow me on Twitch under Gamers Cafe with the _. I'll also try and put a link in the description below. I might add it to all the descriptions. Apart from that, guys, obviously this video has been helpful. Smack that like button. I will see you tomorrow. Apart from that, guys, stay safe. Wash your hands, because apparently we need to tell everybody to do that these days. But anyway, apart from that, guys, I'll see you then. Have a great night and enjoy.